Great to be with you guys. And today we are talking about why budgeting apps don't really matter. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Really? Yep. The budgeting apps don't matter. I got asked this question yesterday. Mike, what budget do you recommend? I don't recommend one. There's so many different ones out there, but I mean, budgeting apps aren't going to change your life here, and I know for a lot of you, some of you, maybe you've asked, hey, what budget app should I use? Should I do this one? Should I do that one? Should I go pen and paper? Should I go Excel doc? And it's like, or maybe you said, hey, if I found the right budget, if I just found the right budget, all this would work. My problems would be solved and I could be sipping lattes on the Caribbean beach in paradise. And unfortunately, that just ain't going to happen for you. And I know it seems counterintuitive, Jen, for us to sit here and say budgets don't work. I mean, we teach people how to manage their money. We teach people how to get out of debt. We teach people how to become wealthy. And we're telling them that budgets, or not that budgets don't work, but that budgets don't matter. But unfortunately, it's true. Budgets just don't matter. What you do, whatever budget you have here. I mean, there's a ton of them out there. You got budget apps. You've got, again, pen and paper, Excel docs. You've got, whatever, your bank now has an app that you can budget with, but here's what bothers me is that people are still struggling. People are still, the stats are still the same. 78% of North Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So, but we've got more budget apps available than ever before. And yet 78% of North Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And it's like, so, we start to really see that that's not the real answer for people really turning this around. And again, I know it's not conventional wisdom because I know your financial advisor has probably told you to do a budget. Your mortgage agent, after you've reconsolidated all your debt into your house and, your mortgage agent showed you the mathematics and why that was a good idea. And they said, well, now you just got to do a budget and everything will be okay. I mean, how many times have we tried that? And it hasn't worked, right? It's like, yeah, even the bank, I've heard of the bank tell us, well, just do a budget and you'll be okay. You'll have more money if you just do a budget. And it's like, maybe even your bankruptcy lawyer or when you've done a consumer proposal, maybe they've just said, okay, now do a budget. Now go and do a budget. And, you won't be in this mess again. Yeah. What we're finding, Jen, is time and time again, people fall back into the same habits, the same behaviors. And, and if you've consolidated your money into your house, your debt into your house, well, guess what? 5 years later, you're doing it again. And did the budget work? No. So if it's not about the budget, if it's not about doing a budget, the question I start to ask is, what is it about? Because here's the thing. When you look at your budget, I really want you to think like, it's like going to the gym. And you getting a gym membership or you buying some weights now because of COVID and you're buying weights for your home gym here, the weight doesn't get you the results. The weight is a tool that if you implement it properly can help get you the result. And the budget's the exact same way. It's a tool when implemented the right way can get you the result. So it doesn't matter which weight you buy. You can buy a 20-pound weight. You can buy a kettlebell. You can buy an exercise bike, a running machine, whatever it is, a rowing machine. It doesn't matter which weight you buy. Each one will get you to a result. Doesn't matter what budget you do. An app, Excel, pen and paper, which is my favorite still. Doesn't matter which one you do. It will get you to the result if and only if you've got these three things going for you first. So let's dive in, Jen. What's the first one here? What's the first thing that people need to have in order to have a budget that's going to work for them?
You need to address your habits and behaviors.
Oh, ouch.
I know, I said it. Habits and behaviors.
Oh, could it be the real problem is your habits and behaviors have caused you to fail so much?
Yes.
That you hide behind, I need to find the right budget.
Yeah, because the budget, like your example of the weights, it's just a tool, right? And so people will win no matter what way they do a budget, whether it's pen and paper or Excel or an app. It's the habits, the behaviors. It's doing it regularly, doing it every month, being purposeful and intentional with it, right? You can't just prepare it once and be like, well, I hope it works, and check in at the end of the month and be like, well, that didn't work, right?
Yeah.
It's because it's not just a matter of writing down what you anticipate, actually tracking what you do spend, right?
Yeah.
And so it's that habit of being involved in it. Like your budget has to be like, it's like a living document, right? Like it's constantly, it's moving, it's changing with you. You gotta be friends with it and keep it updated. It needs to be your pal more than your Facebook updates, your budget updates.
Ouch.
Right? I know.
Jen speaking some truth.
Well, it's true though, because when you take the time to address your habits and behaviors, the spending maybe that has, become out of control, and you're addressing them by using the budget as a tool to rein them in, you'll feel like you got a raise. It doesn't matter how you do it, but it's the fact that you do it and that you do it regularly, just like habitually you brush your teeth. Right?
Do people brush their teeth habitually?
Holy Lord, I hope so. Like,
I hope so too.
Every morning, every night, at least, right?
After lunch, after breakfast, after dinner. That's
right?
what my dentist used to tell me. Yeah.
There you go. Exactly. Right. Yeah. And it's just a habit, right? Like you shouldn't even think about it. You just do it, right? Yeah. Like it's not something that you forget. We're no longer, 4 and I forgot, right? Like we don't forget.
We're adults here.
I know. We have to start adulting.
Yeah.
For heaven's sakes, brush your teeth and get into your budget every day.
Get into your budget every day and look at it, manage it, maintain it. Habits and behaviors. And a habit is a choice that's repeated consistently.
Yeah. Yeah. And it becomes second nature. Yeah. That's how you win. That's how you win with a budget. For sure.
I like that. That's a good one. Yeah. Habits and behaviors. That is how you win. Number 2, guys, though, it's not just habits and behaviors alone. It's also mindset. Yeah. Being intentional, spending time doing the budget properly, and really working on that mindset. I call it a winning mindset. Really having a winning mindset around that budget. Yeah. And so part of that mindset includes, what's your goals around that budget? What do you hope to achieve from that budget? What do you want at the end of the month? What do you want to see, and what's the outcome that you want to get out of that AKA budget? Because without that mindset, that winning mindset here, you're going to be hard pressed to want to continue to do it month after month after month after month, because there's nothing to move you forward here.
Yeah, there's no goal or no like prize or reward at the end. Where when we have that mindset, like you were saying about focusing on what is important, why are we even doing it? Staying positive with it, recognizing it's going to allow us to win in so many ways. That mindset is really what brings it home.
Yeah, that winning mindset, that's huge. Habits, behaviors, a winning mindset. And then Jen, what's the third thing that people need to have here to really get the budget process working for them?
Yeah, you need to focus on your why and the story that you're telling yourself. And is that story, like in the mindset, is it a positive story or is it negative? Right? Really focusing on, why we need to do this. Why is it important? Why bother doing a budget in the first place? Well, I'm betting it's because you've got some bigger goals in life. There are things that you want to achieve. There are things that you want to do. There are people that you want to go see, places that you want to visit. You have goals, right? And so focusing on that end goal is where it really brings it home. And the story that we need to tell ourselves is that we can achieve it.
If you believe, you can achieve.
And it's so true. You can, right? And bring it home to why again, right? Like, why? No. Being debt-free itself isn't a big enough goal. Like it's a great goal to achieve it, right?
But it's not enough.
It's not enough. There needs to be something after that. Like, yes, you want to be debt-free. Why? Because you want to be able to retire with dignity. Maybe you want to help your kids with college, change your family tree, right? Support a mission, something that's close to your heart that that you love and that breaks your heart. Like, what is the bigger why? And so how can we spin that into the story that we tell ourselves that the budget will work, that it is worth doing it, that it is worth changing our habits and behaviors, having a positive mindset in order to actually achieve.
Yeah. And I would say it's the story, tell yourself that you can win.
Yeah.
That you can win long term, because if you've got that story in your mind that you can't win, you will not win long term. It's kind of like, if you think you can, if you think you can't, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right either way. And it's like, you got to start to give yourself stories that support where you want to be, because the story, there's 2 stories. There's a good chance they're both right, but which one do you want to manifest?
Yeah.
Because you're going to manifest one or the other either way. So why not manifest the story that gets us moving towards that goal?
Absolutely.
That we want to get here. And so start to change that story. And one thing you've got to understand is, as humans, they say on average, we got about 80,000 thoughts a day. And each thought is attached to an energy. And unfortunately, about 80% of our thoughts are negative. And so when 80% of your thoughts are negative, what type of stories and what type of energy are you living in? So you've got to purposely. We talked about this exactly, and we talked about this in our community. I posted about this in our private community this morning about taking every thought captive. Why that's so powerful. If you want to be successful, you got to learn to take every thought captive. And when it comes to your finances and your money, you've really got to learn to take those thoughts and those stories captive, or else you will continue to get the same thing you've always gotten.
Yeah.
It's just repeat. It's just that cycle. You just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, which is why when your financial advisor tells you to just do a budget, it's like it's child's play. It's not enough, because you need to understand, if you don't change these three things, just doing a budget won't get you to result. But the problem is it won't get you to result. But now that you failed the third time doing it, or a fourth time doing it, or a fifth time doing it, you've really cemented the story that a budget doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And which is why when people say just do a budget, I'm like, it's not just about doing a budget. No. It's really not, and until you can get these three things, we talked your habits and behaviors, we talked your mindset, and we talked to the stories you're telling yourselves. Until you can get those three things dialed in, it doesn't matter what you do for a budget. It won't fully work for you. Either you're going to fall off at some point, or you're going to start to find stories that support why it's not really something you need to do, or whatever. Right. And we all have reasons, we all have excuses, right, about it. But the truth is, if you can master those three things, your habits, behaviors, your mindset, and then the stories and the energy and the thoughts, that all really fall under, the last two, the mindset and the stories, then, and only then will your budget work. And at that point, it's not going to matter what you do, an app, Excel, pen and paper. It's not going to matter, because it's going to work for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And so just don't go do a budget. Don't just do a budget. Work on your mindset. Work on those habits and behaviors. But here's how you can do that. Number one, habit and behavior. Set a time. First off, set a time every month that you're going to do a budget meeting. Your budget meeting with you, or if you're married, with your spouse, where you sit down for 30 to 45 minutes. You commit 30 to 45 minutes. Even if you finish early, you commit 30 to 45 minutes where you can look at the whole month and see what's happened, and then plan for the next month. And then daily, check in daily. And your check in daily is probably like 30 seconds to a minute. Are we on track? Are we spending what we said we're going to spend? Are we overspending? Do we need to adjust? Has life happened in a way that we need to move some things around? Because budgets aren't linear.
No.
They're always moving. That's why we call money currency, right? You think of a current.
Yeah.
It's always
moving.
It's always moving. So, sometimes you got to change things and be willing, mindset, to adjust.
Yeah.
And have that mindset that's willing to move and kind of just, be able to go back and forth and make adjustments on the spot, so that you can win stories you're telling yourself, so you can win at the end of the month and start to support that story that you can win.
Exactly.
It's like a 1-2 punch. I've been watching Rocky. It's a 1-2-3 punch of your finances.
Yeah.
All right, guys. And so, Jen, any last words of wisdom here? Any knowledge bombs?
Yeah, guys, definitely commit to doing a monthly budget, but only if you're going to do these three things too.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, it's going to fail. You're going to give up, and there's no hope in that. So
and it's going to suck.
It will, and it'll feel, futile. So Definitely, guys, look at your habits and behaviors, your mindset, the negative stories that you're telling yourself, and spin them to positive. And then that is when working your monthly budget is going to take flight.
Amazing. Yep. That is it right there. There's your secret to success right there. Your millionaire mindset. We've been talking about that this past week. That's it right there. So go and take this information and use it. Change your world here. And hey, if you need help implementing, reach out. We're happy to help you here. We've got a kick-ass program that's getting kick-ass success. I mean, there's more success than we have time to post about, to be honest, with what's been going on here. And so if you're looking for that support, maybe you tried budgeting, maybe you just find you're falling back on the mindset, that the mindset keeps pulling you back and keeps you from really moving forward here. Or maybe you've been stuck for a while in this process and just stuck on this journey here. You're not making that progress. You're not you're paying off a little bit here, but you're not really killing it. And when I say killing it, you should be able to be knocking off about 20K in about 6 months. That's what our clients are doing one-on-one. So if you can't beat that, it's time to reach out. And let's get you doing that, because even if you're debt free, it's 20K in investing. It's 20K paying off the home. It's 20K into wealth building world, right? Is what we're all about here. And so, hey, if you feel that you guys are there, hop on that call. We're here to serve you. We're here to find out if we can help move you forward, and if we can, walk you through how we do it and how we can apply that to you. All right, guys. So moneycoachmike.com/call is where you can do that. Okay. And take this information and use it. Change your life here, but really work on that habit behavior, work on that mindset, and really, really, really start to dig out those stories you're telling yourself, because those are the true reasons why budgets aren't working for you. All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Bye. Hey guys, Mike Croft here. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit subscribe, as well as check out some other content from the show.